Do you see a kill, Tomcats? Do you see a kill? He's definitely hunting something. I'm not sure what it is. There's a mouse. Something's caught his attention. But anyways, the attention right now is to get those vapor lines fixed. So this is what I gotta repair today. I couldn't get a good picture of it yesterday. Is that those vent lines just got crushed, and that's why my fuel lines got all pulled out there. But I'm not gonna suffer that issue now, that's for sure. So these are the broken vent tubes that I just pulled out. Yeah, not good. Not good. Could have been worse. Glad I fixed that up. So I just ran the two vent lines now up to where the fuel tank fill is. What are you doing? I know, I had to rescue you. It started raining outside and you're gonna melt. I know. I know. You want some butt scratches? Do you want some butt scratches? Is that what you want? What? What do you want, Toms? Hey, what do you want? You gonna say hi to all your fans? Are you? You wanna bite my finger? Is that what you want? Headbutts? What's going on, Sleeping Beauty? What are you doing? I'm gonna have to clean your little cat kennel out there. You got a whole bunch of hairs going on there. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Did you have a good time outside this morning? Did you? I'm gonna go for a little bike ride, Tomcats. Are you gonna be okay by yourself? Are you? Yeah, I definitely need to get some bigger tires now, go back to 33s, but until I get back to work, I gotta use what I got. But I just brought the table in, because when I was out riding, this steering post is getting really stiff, so I'm gonna need to take that apart and do some adjustments to it. Now once I get these ones free, actually they're not even seized, I should be able to pull the handlebars off. Very surprising that these aren't all seized. So this is like a tapered lock there, but she'll come. She will come. Perfect. So I'm gonna start with the bottom one. You can see moisture in there. This is the bearing. This is the one that's causing us the issues. It's not too good a health, but I'm gonna pop that rubber seal out, see if we can make some magic from it. These bearings are typically not serviceable, and you can see it is dry. It is completely dry in there. It's pretty rough, but I think for my purpose we can salvage it. So I managed to free her up. Got her rolling again. Now this is where people would most likely just replace it. But what if you live somewhere like the Congo or Russia or Cuba? You would have to go about fixing it. You can see right there, I'm just adding some grease. And it's starting to go smoothly now. Gonna work that in. This is the bearing I need to replace it with. It's a 680 7RS. It is a Japanese bearing. Make no mistake, this bearing is shot. It'll have to be swapped out. But for the time being, I unseized it, got some grease in it, and I'll be able to ride on it till I get a new one. This is the top one. It's in a lot better shape. So I'm going to grease them up. So I got the bearing greased up for the time being. It is shot like no one's business, but I bet you'll probably be able to ride on it for the rest of the summer, guaranteed. I'd like to restore this bike. It's classic, it's a vintage. There we have it, nice and smooth. Is it fixed? Nope, but it'll buy us time till I get some new bearings, and then we'll pull the bottom one out and we'll inspect them after I've been using them for a while, see how they fared out. They are kind of an oddball bearing, so I wonder if I can get them at Napa or something, or have to go to Motion Canada or possibly a bike shop, but a bike shop would probably charge you an arm and a leg. That was just Fedora on the phone, talked to him for like 45 minutes. He found himself an all-wheel drive express van with a high top roof that had the engine had been swapped out of it, all new tires, all new suspension. 10 grand only. That's pretty fucking smoking. He asked me what I thought about it, and I said if I was working and I had money to spend, I'd buy that thing. So I think he's gonna get it. So I'm just getting ready to head back to the junkyard to get an axle for my truck. Trying to think of every possibility of tools I need. So I'm going to tell you right now, the best place to practice if you want to learn how to do a job but not ruin it on your own vehicle is to go to the wrecking yard and practice on the vehicles there. That is my pro tip of the day. Alright, just got the pick and pull. Hopefully I can find a decent axle there, and I got all the tools unlike last time. Let's hope this isn't another shit show for nothing. Yeah, someone just took the heads right off of that one. So the boot on that one looks like it's in really good shape. Looks like someone's already started by removing the strut bolt. And it looks like one bolt is out from the axle. So we'll see how much of a pain it's gonna be. I'm gonna tell you right now, there's lots of ways that you could pull this axle out, and a lot of people say just remove the strut bolt and then work it around. I'm gonna tell you to avoid using that method because you'll always end up with a small tear in the CV boot. The easiest way I find is to separate the upper ball joint like shown there, and then you can pull the axle out a lot easier. That is my tip. It seems it's a little bit more work, but you're not going to tear your CV boot. Tomcats, do you want some chin scratches? Do you want some chin scratches, Tomcats? Oh, bless you. Bless you. Are you gonna sneeze? Or are you? You want some ear scratches? Do you want some ear scratches? Oh my. Look at you. Oh yeah, that feels so good. So good. Yeah. This axle's gonna need a little bit of work. Before I put it in, I gotta take all the rust off the surface because that's what rides on the vacuum hub. I don't know what it was, but those hubs are like seized in there. I got it out. Teeth looks good. Rubber boot looks good. These bolts are a pain to get out. So here's a pro tip if you're like me and you like to go to the junkyard to get parts because it's way cheaper than buying it new. Is every time you go and get a part from the junkyard, take all your fasteners that you remove from that part with you because you never know when you're gonna need them. First time I went to the wrecking yard, I just took the tools needed to do the job, expecting it to go smoothly, where if something happened, which it did, I needed a alternative solution, which didn't work out. So this time I took tools that I could do multiple jobs in order to get that axle out. And this is why you never buy super cheap tools. This is chrome, Vandeman, whatever, flare wrench, 22 mil. I just stuck that on a nut and hit it with my mallet and it just snapped just like that. First time I've ever had a wrench break on me. Like my Craftsman's, my Mac Tools ones, that would never happen with. And Tomcat's quite content in his cage. As long as I keep the door open and he can see me, he's a happy kitty. Coming back to the socket set that I purchased to do this one job because I needed a 12.12 mil. And I probably will end up using all of them at some point in time. There's only a 3/8 drive. I'm going to tell you right now, this held up using this big breaker bar to bust them free until I realized that I could use the Milwaukee 1/2 inch if I use this chrome adapter as my fail-safe, because I don't need this to break, but if something was going to go, this will go first. And then I use it on a swivel, and I was able to bust all the bolts free without trying to use a big pry bar like that one over there to hold the hub from spinning, and then try to get a breaker bar on it. Yeah, this method worked good, and this held up. So if it didn't break doing that job, I'm pretty confident that these sockets aren't going to break doing most jobs. So Fedor just came over because he's doing gears in his Jeep. His aux locker's jammed up. Gotta figure out what's wrong with that, but pulled the bearing off the pinion. I don't know who rebuilt the differential, but those are not the proper shims. Not even close. Actually, thinking of it now, I wonder if they just put the shims on the wrong side of the slinger, because then they fit there and they fit correspondingly to the bearing, but when they're on this side, they're not doing too much good there at all because they're not on the actual surface. Well, it's another day. Gotta finish up some things. Get ready. Fedora's over for a live stream and some beers that are left over because we had a fire afterwards, and took apart his aux locker and found out that it was a 49-cent shim that was causing it to lock up, or should I say thrust washer. And my bucket of leftover swap parts gonna have to go through. Had some tools show up since we're gonna be started on that axle that's buried in there that I'm gonna have to dig out. Some flare wrenches and a brake flaring tool. I have the other one, but this is for tight spaces and that, or really tight bends. where the other flare tool wouldn't be able to get on. Move the Jeep outside. Now I gotta play the organization game again. Starting the show itself again. Just went through that bin of extra parts left over. I'm gonna stick that in the shed. No need to have it in the garage anymore, taking up space. That compressor pretty soon will be, not compressor, the generator will be making its way out there pretty soon too, to create some more space. Now I just got the axle in the front now for easy access tomorrow to start stripping it down. Organized a few things. Right, next video gonna start tearing that down. Said a while ago I was gonna start it, but didn't quite happen. What I do know what's gonna happen is that it's motherfucking beer time, and the beer fridge is getting low on beers. So, grabbed a Zero Issue Uprising Sour IPA 6%. All right, it's motherfucking beer time. Let's try the Sour IPA. Getting down to the last of the craft beers, unfortunately. That is good. That is good. I have never had a Zero Issue beer that I didn't like. And they got always the coolest beer labels as well. This is a real good sour. If I must say so myself. So yeah, this video was kind of all over the place. This is what happens when you're in between projects, so to speak. But I'm gonna get back on track. Start plugging away on some stuff. Get moving. Things we gotta do. So I'm gonna end this video. I don't even know how long it's gonna be. Hope it's gonna be at least 10 minutes at least. I don't know. I was kind of fucking jumping around, not really doing a whole lot of sweet fuck all. Anyways, motherfucking beer time. See you in the next one.